first digital drawings I posted on social media were absolutely horrifying to look at. I hadn't studied anything before I posted these. I hadn't learned how to draw the body. I hadn't learned how to draw a face or anything like that. So as a result, they look really bad. Because unfortunately at the end of the day, you do need to study for your art to look good. And this isn't really something you really want to hear because studying has a really bad rap in like all shapes and forms. However, you're not going to get better if you don't. Just to clarify something, this isn't really something that applies to people who just do it for fun or like for a hobby. However, I would encourage you to like try and practice because at the end of the day, there isn't really any harm that comes with trying to get better. Also, I'm not saying you should like sell your soul and dedicate every waking moment to studying how to draw anatomy correctly or anything like that. Simple doodles and sketches can actually get you pretty far in improvement. I really recommend them actually because they can help you improve if you're having problems with having your figures look stiff, for example. Or maybe you just want to get better at like constructing the body actually well. For example, you've probably heard of people doing 30-second gesture drawings, and you're probably like, well, what good will 30 seconds do? You can't do a whole piece in 30 seconds. And whilst that is true, doing them as fast as you can within a 30-second time frame can help you make the most of the time you're given. You don't get caught up in all the details in the face or whatever that might distract you. And I'm not saying either that they'll look incredible the first time you do them, or ever. They might be bad the entire time you do them, I don't know. They might disappoint you the first time you do it, and that's fine. That's just part of the art journey. The very unfortunate side of the art journey that no one likes, by the way. It just happens. But you will be better. You will get better in the end. You just have to allow yourself to have the time to get better. It isn't easy either. You can get impatient and frustrated that the things that you're making aren't coming out the way that you've envisioned in your head. And that happens to everyone who makes art. You're not alone. Everyone has those days. And that's fine. I don't think I've ever had a piece that's come out the way I've envisioned it in my head. Okay, so this is the most recent piece that I've made as of making this. And this is the first drawing I made in January of 2024. And you can see the changes. Over the past year, I haven't turned into some art genius who can do everything and anything, but I do think I have made some good improvements over a year. Some people do say that you shouldn't compare yourself to how you used to be or to other artists who may have been doing it longer, and whilst I don't think you should really do the second one, I do think doing the first one is actually pretty helpful, and it can actually make you feel prouder because look how far you've come compared to that monstrosity you made about a year ago. Like here, I can see that the first piece that I made in 2024 was unfinished. It's very sketchy and cluttered. I don't think I really had an idea of what I was doing, to be honest. And I have a lot to learn about anatomy still, but yeah, I think I've improved quite a lot. I think when I made the first drawing, I kind of just started doing it in the hope that something feasible would come out of it, which obviously hasn't happened because what is that? However, I did post it still, which, well, sometimes now I make something that I'm not proud of and I'm like, yeah, I ain't posting that. But one thing I do admire about myself from a year ago is that I'd post it anyway because I spent time on it, time that I could have used probably doing something way better, and I post it because what's the point in throwing it away when I've worked hard, I guess. And I do cringe at some of the stuff I have posted, the amount of privated videos I have on my TikTok, because I look back in shame and I'm like, wow, I really thought I ate with that one. And the people in my comments were lying to me about, oh my god, this looks so good. Don't give her false hope. It's very kind though, due to the people who've done that and who've fed my delusions a year ago. I'm also not encouraging you to self-deprecate and think how terrible your drawings from the past or maybe what you did a week ago and how terrible they are, but I think acknowledging that you could be better or that you are better is what helps you get better in the long run, because you need motivation to carry on, and motivation can be pretty hard to come by, so seeing how far you've come can help, and you should be proud of where you've come from. No, it won't be fun a lot of the times, but also it will be fun sometimes, which is just how life goes, unfortunately. I do think a lot of people struggle with art becoming a chore rather than something you want to do or you crave to do, and that can really damage a relationship with art, and I think getting burnt out is like one of the biggest killers of art. And I found this to be a huge struggle when I was just starting out as well, especially when things wouldn't turn out the way I imagined them to. So I would just be like, well, what's the point? There is a point. You just have to stop whining about it. But obviously it is different for everyone, but I feel like beginners have it the worst when it comes to motivation. Like right now, I literally don't want anything to do with drawing shoes, backgrounds and side profiles, because every time I try them, they just turn out really bad. So naturally, I'll gravitate to something I'm more comfortable with, which also reflects into my work, becoming less and less imaginative and interesting to look at, and so I'm not getting better. However, the fact of the matter is that eventually you do get better. And I think that's something everyone forgets every time, especially when you're having one of those days or one of those weeks or one of those months or maybe one of those years where nothing's turning out the way you want it to, so you kind of just want to give up. So I had my quote-unquote art style breakthrough in August of 2024 when I drew this. And for reference, the drawings I showed earlier of the ones that I first posted to social media were posted in May of 2023. So it's just under a year apart, so it took quite a while. And obviously, there will be some people who did it way faster than that, and some people who did it in a lot more time than that. So there isn't really a time that you should aim for with an art style quote-unquote breakthrough, because I think it just happens when it happens, to be honest. And I am still quite inconsistent with this style, and not in the good way when you say oh, I experiment with different ways of rendering. No, I just have a lot of bad days where I don't draw the way I should or the way I usually would, and this is normal, I think, because learning just isn't a linear process in anything. Usually you'll have your ups and downs, and sometimes you'll be at the height of your performance, and then other times you'll be like, why am I doing this? So I do think you just have to be patient when you're making an art style for yourself, and that is hard because sometimes you just want to grab that favourite artist you always look up to and just want to absorb their skill level, but obviously that can't happen. It is up to you at the end of the day, and eventually you will make something that you're proud of, and you'll be happy that your past self believed that you would get to the point that you are now. Anyway, I apologise for this video turning into a bit of a rant rather than actually helping. However, I do hope that someone can at least take something from it. I do plan on making maybe some type of video, like a tutorial on how to actually create an art style, or how to make studying art fun. Something helpful like that, something that's not as much as a rant as this. So if you wanna see that, perhaps you should consider subscribing or liking it. That would really be appreciated by myself. It would really support my cause of becoming famous. But I really do hope that someone took something away from this. But if you didn't,